Okay, update on the Elite transmission, which this is where we're at with that transmission. Now, this hodgepodge of parts, and in there too, is of an old transmission where we actually had to make took two transmissions, made one good one way back, and that is 474 Elite. I technically have 4 Elites, so this is 476. These are parts that are left over, so that might be helpful to look through here, see if there's anything that I could use that's still good. And now this shows me the opportunity to explain some things. This is the first motion shaft. This is the second motion shaft. This is the normally offensive bearing. So this fits into there, and the play between in that bearing, this is in through the whole top of the transmission. There's your lay shaft right here for below it. But when that little bearing wears, then you get all the vibration between the two of these. And have I experienced this a couple of times? Yes. The 74 Elite, when its transmission was getting done, this is from there. Lots of play. The 76 Elite we drove it for a while, enjoyed it. Then it started getting to be a problem, and it developed the exact same failure of the vibration, except in fourth gear. So I took a transmission out of a 18,000 mile parts car that I had, and that's one of the Elites, and that's it. So the 18,000 mile parts car had the vibration come in. So what happened to the original one? Well, there it is. That's the original transmission out of the 76 Elite, which I'll check out to see, just because my curiosity. It has the same vibration issue, so it's time. I'll check it out. See if it's the exact same place, the exact same problems, to the exact same extent. But how is it that there's 3 transmissions that have the exact same problem? So that's where I'm at right now. 3 transmissions that have the exact same problem. The transmission that's in the Elite at the moment, I bought it, what I thought was a reconditioned transmission out of England from what was supposed to be a reputable company, and it lasted about 5,000 miles, and then Synchro second and third started having problems. So it wasn't a very good rebuild. So that's why we're here, to get a good transmission to get the car back out on the road. So that is the purpose of all of this. And there is the case for the 74 transmission, and there are 2 versions of transmissions. They have a different angle on the bulk rings. There's a different angle, and there is you have to check the books, but there is a split in the serial numbers where things change. So in parts, make sure you do that. And, well, pardon the mess, but there's a spare engine and transmission I picked up, we'll say, somewhat locally, an hour away. Anything happens, can always get into that one. But why put it in a car and not know what it's going to do either? So one way or another, I got to go through all this mess, all these transmissions, and come up with one that will do what I need it to do and last. So, and one of the issues, I think I can bring this up now, is, let's see, there's a way to look. We'll show it. there's a hole there. See if I can, right there. There's a hole. There's another one on the opposite side. And that's also an update that was done to get more oil to that bearing, because there was a problem, I guess, initially in the first versions of these transmissions where they weren't getting enough oil to the bearing and it was failing. Well, it fails now also. And this is something an old gentleman told me back in the 90s. Said these transmissions have a known failure around 24,000 to 30,000 miles for this bearing to go. So I think it's early on a couple of these, but we'll see. So this would wrap up this Lotus Elite transmission update. Okay, next little part of the video is I've taken the original transmission that was sitting on the floor I showed you earlier, put it up on the bench, and I'm going to take the bell housing off, and then I can start pulling some covers off, make sure the oil's drained out of it, which, no, it isn't yet, I don't think. Anyway, it's the air gun's going to make a lot of noise, the air compressor is making noise, so I'm just going to show you the beginning and the when I get it off. Okay, so the bell housing has been removed, top cover is off. As I say, nothing horrible looking in there at the moment, but we'll see. I'll get the front cover off, and that'll be the next step. Okay, so I've got the front cover off of transmission number 2 here, and there is still a little bit of play, but not as much as the other one. Right back here, I can feel the play side to side, up, down, and there is just a little play in the bearing to that collar. I mean, there's a small amount of play in the bearing to the collar. Still just a little, I mean, about half as much as the other one, I would say. But this one is definitely, and we'll say, in better shape in regards to wear, but still, same issue of this. This is where all of this and the deflection of this shaft back and forth, just that one critical point there where all the force goes through. Granted, this end will be in the bearing of the flywheel, and then this is carried by this, but I really do think, as I say, that is the point. So yeah, I think we're going to be taking this one apart and changing this one out, just because I think this one has less trouble. Same problem, but I think it has less wear. Still going to change out both all 3 bearings internal, the 2 carrier bearings here, and this ring, spacer ring, is in much better condition. So, because we could say that and I can't even pull out like I could on the other one, because the other one I could move everything back and forth, and this one doesn't pull out at all. So I wonder on the other one if it's that internal bolt that came loose, which allows it to move back and forth, because there is a bolt between this piece of the first motion and the other part of the first motion. There's an internal bolt. I wonder if that came loose, and that's why that moves back and forth so much. I wonder if that's what it was. So that'd be another one, tear down after this, just to kind of see. But this one doesn't move like the other one moves, and this bearing does not spin in the race. So definitely much better. Okay, So that's where we are here. It didn't spin. This spacer didn't get all tore up. So this is the better candidate to work with. All right, that's the update for today. Okay, update. Next is transmission is apart. The second transmission is apart about where I was on the other one. So we're back to here. Everything looks pretty good. Reverse looks really good. Of course, the parts one I had a really bad chewed up reverse. So far, all the gearing looks pretty good. I haven't seen anything that's an issue. Let's see. The front. Let's see if I can see what kind of movement we have here. That will show. A little movement. So. Okay, let's try. Okay, tool check. Front nut down below. 1 1/8 fits that nicely. These are probably all metric, and these actually are working really well for, we'll say, American equivalents. They're very good fit. You need a deep one for this, but this is 1 1/2. So, and regular ones do not work with that. So deep 1 1/2, I have it, which is really good. Okay, bottom one here. Not sure the metric, but I will say that 1 5/16 fits very well. Doesn't fit well, yeah, the flats. But 1 5/16, sorry, wrong one. 1 5/16 will fit that. But I'm going to look for a socket. So, and there's a special tool I saw somebody made up. You take a sinker ring and you can use it. There's exactly one spot where this works really well. It's probably going to take me a while. There it is. Where it locks that. And I'll try to get a photo. I'll try to post it up in a link. But it's a unit that goes between both of these that allows everything to help get locked in. I'm going to see about making it. But this is from the parts car. This one's from the parts car. Parts bin down there. So I don't care if I use it for making a tool. All right, that's the updates. But I got to get an 1 5/16 socket for this one.